are you doing?
I'm alright. I'm okay. Little, nothing to be super joyous about, I guess, but
Yeah.
you know.
So, I remember the last time we spoke, you were still kind of in that waiting zone for your divorce to be finalized.
Yeah, so they did get a court date for the divorce with default. That's scheduled for July 1st, so a little less than 2 weeks.
Okay.
So, got that to look forward to, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are you feeling going into that? Are you feeling excited?
I'm excited for it to be over with and I'll officially be divorced, and I'm assuming I'm gonna get whatever it is that I'm asking for in my divorce because I don't think he's gonna show up to the court date.
Yeah.
So that's good. It'll be good to not have to see him or talk to him there, because that's what I was mostly worried about, was like him being there, me being there, and then I don't know if I'd be able to handle that, but he's not gonna show up.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, well, that'll be a big weight lifted off your shoulders,
Mhm.
kind of, having
Yeah.
that done and over with. You can kind of move on and start thinking about some of the other things that are going on in your life.
Yeah.
I know that there was something else you had wanted to talk about, like what else do you have going on?
Oh, so I live at home with my parents, and my son. There's, I don't know, my mom, there's a lot of medical things going on with my mom. We are pretty sure that she has dementia, and it just seems to progressively getting worse. Like she's not, it's a little frustrating, honestly, and I feel bad, but that's what's going on right now.
Okay. So, is this something that, has been a burden on you specifically, or how has this been affecting your life day to day on top of everything else that you're kind of doing?
I feel guilty, and I feel like I don't know what to do with her. Like my dad's old too. I mean, he doesn't have dementia or anything, but he's old and he doesn't really know how to deal with it, and I feel like it's almost kind of on me. Like he wants me to do something, and I don't even know. I don't know what to I don't know what to do about it.
Okay. It seems like you've been kind of carrying a tremendous amount of responsibility on your shoulders between being a single mom and caring for your parents and, trying to kind of figure it out on your own. Seems
Yeah.
like there's a lot of extra weight on your shoulders because of this.
Yeah, there is. I feel like I'm just constantly thinking about everything all the time. Well, mostly at night when everything's calm and my son's sleeping, and then it's like the perfect time for me to lay in bed and think about how awful things are. Like I don't even sleep because I'm thinking about that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well, it's extremely difficult. It's a lot to deal with, a parent having issues like that, kind of
Yeah.
dealing with the loss of that parent in a sense while they're still here too. You're almost grieving
Right.
them because they're not who they once were, and then the responsibility of caring for them on top of caring for yourself, your son, that's a lot of pressure. So to kind of break it down, what would you say is the most urgent thing that needs attention right now, since you're waiting on your divorce to be finalized? What do you think is the most urgent issue right now?
My mom definitely needs some kind of care, professional care that's not my dad trying to figure it all out, or my dad also being overwhelmed with it and then not doing anything, and then we all just kind of talk about it together. Like we don't talk about things to like solve the problem. It's more like, well, your mom said this today and didn't do this, and it's like, what are we doing? Like, I just feel like something needs to be done, and I don't know. It's exhausting trying to manage all of this, I guess.
So you would say that you probably feel a little frustrated on top of the stress of everything too, because it's kind of falling on you to try to figure something else out while you're also figuring out everything else you have going on in your own personal life.
Right, yeah.
Okay, so have you considered any options for your mom? Is there anything you've looked into, or any options, or?
I haven't done like much research or anything. I don't know, I'd like her to have some kind of either an in-home care or maybe someone or take her somewhere to a facility or something where they treat, I just don't know anything about it, you know, and I honestly, like, I haven't really, like, looked at anything, so I don't know.
What has kind of stopped you from doing further research into it or looking into it?
I don't know, I feel like I feel like I should be the one that's helping her with all of this instead of us having some random person do it. 'Cause, you know, I always see those things on TV where like the elderly people are abused in homes and stuff. I actually saw one recently, and so did my dad, and I know that freaked him out, and he's always like, well, that's why we don't want to go to any of those homes or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
And of course something like that would come up recent
Right.
for my dad to see that, and I don't know, I feel like it's something that I should be able to do for her. I don't know.
Well, you know, as dementia progresses, the level of care really does become too much for one individual to bear.
Yeah.
And let alone, you know, you weren't trained in caregiving or nursing, you know, and that's why those people are there. They're to help because they're trained professionals, and at a certain point when it comes to dementia, that's needed, you know, because those people have proper training to be able to deal with that. And there really is options that you can look into, you know, if you do the in-home caregiving services, you know, that way you or maybe your dad would be there so they can keep an eye on things, you know, to make sure that she wasn't in a situation where she was being abused. And I would say the memory care facilities, places like that will have different options that they can give you, and to kind of create a plan for her within the family.
Yeah.
And another thing too, you know, there's also support groups for dementia patients as well, because it's
That she can go to?
no, it would be for
Oh, okay.
yeah.
I mean,
there's
she's just gonna forget.
yeah. Well, yeah, and no, it's mostly for the caregivers. You know, if for some reason one of you were to take on that role, which it kind of seems like that's not really an option at this time, you know, which again, that's okay. There's no reason to feel guilty about it. That's why those people are there. But there is support groups. I mean, even right now, just with your dealing with it day to day, you know, having support and other people around you to kind of talk to that are also dealing with the same things can definitely kind of help a little bit.
Yeah.
But just understand that utilizing these services is not an abandonment of your mother, which it may feel like.
Yeah.
You know, it's helpful to get this help from trained individuals so her care is safe and consistent, you know, and she's getting proper care, you know,
Yeah.
for the issues that she's having.
It's scary because, like, I don't even know what she's gonna think if that gets brought up to her, because she's a little stubborn, so.
Yeah, she in denial a little bit about
Yeah,
her.
definitely, yeah.
Yeah, and that's, I think why it's also important to kind of bring in those professionals, you know, because if you and your dad, for example, have tried to kind of talk to her about it and she's refusing any type of care, you know, I mean, it's probably time to bring somebody else in to, you know, help her out and kind of explain to her, like, you know, this is what you have and this is what we need to do.
Definitely.
And throughout this conversation, I've kind of noticed that you hold yourself to a really high standard. It kind of seems like you think asking for help might be like a form of failure, would you say? Is that kind of how you feel?
That's exactly how it feels, honestly, how I feel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, just kind of remember and be thinking about that it's not failure, you know. You have a son you're taking care of, you are a single mom, you're currently going through a divorce, and it's not a cut, dry divorce. There's been a lot of levels to it, things that are extremely stressful. There was some domestic violence involved within that. It's more so for your mother rather than a failure or abandonment of your mother. It's more so an act of love.
Yeah.
Doing something like this, taking those steps to get her proper care if she's not really getting it now and people are kind of skating by on the day-to-day, you
Yeah.
know? So it really is doing the best thing for her, getting that help, because again, you or your dad, you're not trained caretaker professionals, you know?
Yeah, you're right.
So let's approach this by steps and kind of break it down. Let's, you know, put it into a few different categories here.
Okay.
You know, the first thing, you know, schedule a medical evaluation for her. And we could contact a local agency on aging to find different community resources if, you know, financial is an issue. Arrange a break for yourself, a caregiving break, you know, maybe if you have a family member or someone you could ask for help at least once a week, someone that you trust to kind of step in for a moment so you can step out. And definitely set up a family meeting, so all of your immediate family members set up a meeting to kind of get everybody on board on what we're going to do with the, you know, goals for your mother. And then maybe make a list of the things that your mom needs on a day-to-day that you've been taking care of, just, you know, when you do get that help to let them know, the caregivers. So out of these steps that we kind of broke down, what would you say feels the most doable for you right now?
Probably just writing down who I should be calling. Honestly, it's just
Maybe making an appointment.
Calling her doctor, see what his opinion is on everything, because I don't think we've done that yet. So
Yeah, and that's great. You know, I mean, that's something that you could do even before you leave here today. You know, just since you have a moment alone right now, give that doctor a call and maybe set her an appointment up to kind of get the ball rolling on that. And as we move forward, we can go down this list of 5 things that we listed, you know, getting yourself a break and, you know, call the doctor and then set up that family meeting as well to kind of get everybody in the same headspace. So
right, definitely.
these are great goals to make. So definitely, you know, maybe before you leave here today, do that, and we'll kind of see how it goes in our next session. How are you feeling about that? Are you feeling confident with maybe just those 2 things to get done today, the family meeting and then calling to set up a doctor's appointment?
Yeah, I can do that if that's not too overwhelming, I guess. That happens a lot. I get overwhelmed when I feel like I have to do too many tasks, but I think just you breaking it down like that, and I can do those things. I can start with that.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, no, I mean, you gotta start somewhere, and I think that in your head, even to breaking it down into some smaller steps can definitely help.
Yeah.
Alright, so we will pick back up next week,
Okay.
and we'll see how you're doing, and hopefully, by that point, maybe your divorce will be finalized as well, so we can kind of rehash on that as well a little bit and see how you're feeling.
Okay.
Alrighty, well, thank you so much for coming in today. I appreciate you.
Thank you.